Heaven is watching. Stop warring.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
One of their most unique features is a third eye, which scientists call a parietal eye. This third eye is visible on the very top of their head, right from hatching. Please continue watching to find out more.
Tēnā koutou katoa. That means greetings to you all in Māori, an official language of New Zealand. Resplendent viewers, I'm Tāne. The animals and people of forward-thinking New Zealand wish you all a healthy and abundant life. Welcome to our show entitled The Unique Third Eye Tuatara. Kia ora. This literally means to life in Māori. I'm a Tuatara, a unique native inhabitant from the island home of Aotearoa, also known as New Zealand. I am vegan. You may be wondering what my species name means. In Māori, which is spoken by the indigenous people of New Zealand who are called the Māori, it means peaks on the back. I think this comes from the look of the little mountain-like ridges along my spine. In the Māori tradition, it is believed we descended from an Atua, or god, named Punga. He is the son of Tangaroa, Atua of the ocean. Punga called us ngarara, which means reptiles, but also includes insects, some sea animals, and birds. Maybe it's all these scales. Māoris use whakaero, or traditional wooden carvings, of me on their wharenui or meeting houses, where they hope my scaly looks will inspire fear in prospective trespassers and show that the protection of their atua has been placed onto a tapu or sacred place. They also believe that a kaitiaki, or a guardian, named Te Tangata Kino, who was a huge ancestor of mine, guarded the house of the goddess of the underworld. It was a giant named Te Ngarara Huaro, whose scales and tail became my Tuatara ancestors. At least that's what my nanny or grandmother told me. I may look like a lizard, but in actual fact, my closest relatives are an order of prehistoric reptiles called Rhynchosophilia, also known as beakheads, who became extinct during the time of the dinosaurs. Unlike most other reptiles, it is believed that I have no teeth, but this is a common misconception. What I use to chew are made from enamel and dentine and fused to my jawbone. My nanny said we didn't need to worry about brushing because these are not really like the teeth that other reptiles have. My teeth are actually made up of multiple rows of pointy bits of my skull that interlock. Having interlocking rows means my diet will change as I get older because the teeth wear down over time. My koro, or grandfather, had to eat baby food when he was old because he just could not chew on anything anymore. Heat determines whether Tuatara babies are male or female. Females develop at lower temperatures, below 21 degrees Celsius, and males develop at higher temperatures, over 21 degrees Celsius. You can tell the difference between us by our size. I am a lot bigger than my female relatives, and the spikes along my spine are a lot more distinguished. Like the gecko, we can release our tail if we are in danger, a process called caudal autotomy. We nest in burrows, often shared with various seabirds because we live in the same foggy, offshore island environment. When a female tuatara lays eggs, she usually has anywhere between 8 and 15 eggs. Even though she can lay many eggs, our females will only lay once every 3 or 4 years. Our babies spend 12 to 15 months incubating, and as parents, we don't actually need to watch over our eggs. Although I am happy to share my burrow with a local petrel or prion, I do not like to share my tunnels with other tuatara. However, our individual tunnel systems may be interconnected with those of others. We like our space and prefer solitude and are very territorial. I may not be very big compared to some of my other reptilian cousins, but I am still the largest reptile living in Aotearoa. I can grow up to 1/2 metre in length and even weigh up to 1.5 kilograms. We tuatara have one of the slowest growth rates of any reptile, and we keep on growing until we reach around 35 years old, which is when we can begin to find a partner. We do live a lot longer than our other reptile cousins, living an average of 60 years, but my uncles and aunties have been known to live well over 100 years. In fact, my grandfather was over 100 years old, and my grandmother 80 years old when she gave birth to my daddy. It proves that age does not matter when we want to make a family. We used to have burrows everywhere throughout New Zealand, but after the introduction of rodents, wild cats and pigs, we now only burrow on the safer, smaller islands around Aotearoa, and we inhabit 32 of them. Even so, our numbers are still very low. Only between 50,000 and 60,000 healthy tuataras are left in the wild. Let us take a brief pause. I will go bask in the sun for a while, and then we will return shortly. Please stay with us here on Supreme Master Television. Be vegan, make peace. Welcome back to our program, the Unique Third Eye Tuatara on Supreme Master Television. It's interesting to know that we tuatara have a number of unique characteristics, very different from our other reptile cousins. However, scientists of the past thought we were part of the lizard family. This was commonly accepted until 1867, when a scientist from the British Museum noticed features on one of my ancestors that are similar to birds, turtles and crocodiles. It was this scientist, Dr. Albert Gunther, who created my order of beakheads, which he called Rhynchosophilia. The title living fossil, which happens to be my great-great-grandfather's nickname, comes from the perception that we contain many basal characteristics which were only found in my ancestors, the dinosaurs, around 240 million years ago. We have heard the human scientists argue over whether we being called a living fossil is valid or not, considering that a fossil cannot be living. Personally, I don't mind the name, but I know my grandparents thought it was a rude way to describe our ancestors. Another one of these unique characteristics is the spikes along my spine, which are made out of triangle-shaped soft folds of skin. These spikes are much more distinguished for us males, and we can stiffen them up when we want to show off during courtship or when another male tuatara comes into our territory. This is similar to one of my cousins who has a big frilly neck which stiffens up when he wants to look handsome or tough. I produce a unique croaking sound when threatened and have very soft calls when I am courting the females. During midsummer, when it's time to find a partner, we males begin to change colour and become much darker, and our spiny ridge along our backs becomes stiffer. It is during this time that we perform one of our favourite rituals of circumambulating a female when we are getting to know one another. This is another unique aspect of our lives, and one that makes us even more special because no other reptile performs courtship in this way. One of my most unique features is my third eye, which scientists call my parietal eye. This third eye is visible on the very top of my head, right from when I hatch out of my egg. No other species looks as handsome as those of us with a parietal eye, which has many features. Like an ordinary eye, this third eye has a cornea, lens, and rods, and it connects to my beautiful brain. I use this eye to sense the seasons and detect the changes in light within my environment. But I believe it is much more special than that because it connects me directly to Papatuanuku, the Earth Mother, in the Māori creation tradition. We have shown great adaptation to cold weather, which is amazing because our ancestors lived in a far warmer climate than our island homes today. It is this adaptation that has allowed us to thrive on the colder islands of Aotearoa. Our greenish-brown colour is another perfect adaptation for our forest habitat, and we can change colour considerably over time. Every year, we shed our old skin for a fresh new coat, but as a younger fella, we shed our skin 3 or 4 times in a year. In the old stories of our human friends, the Māori, we are regarded as ariki, forms of gods. We are a taonga, or treasure, even today. The Māoris also consider us as messengers for their god Whero. Caring viewers, thank you for joining us for our program today. Coming up next is the 10 Commandments and Moses and the Ants, part 3 of 13, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May all your days be filled with the peace and grace of the heavenly realms.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/AW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/AW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/AW.
برنامه‌های ما شامل زبان‌های بسیاری است. از این وبسایت‌ها دیدن فرمایید: suprememastertv.com/schedule و suprememastertv.com/AW.
Be veg, go green to save the planet.